What's up, guys? Here to recap a little bit from the games yesterday and give you some plays today. I have two plays. But first, we're going to go back to that play that I had yesterday, that Middleton over 19 and a half. That one looked pretty easy from jump. He scored about 17 points in the first quarter, so we only needed 3 points for the remaining three quarters. He went scoreless in the second, but I wasn't really worried. I mean, you have to look at it in the mindset of what the total number is, and at halftime, if that player has 17, or even if he has 17 at the end of the third quarter, you're still in good shape. So it was a little frustrating watching it, knowing that he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the second quarter. But that first quarter really helped propel him, that bet. So he ended up scoring 11 more for the remainder of the game, and Bucks lost. Just kind of crazy, Jimmy Butler is incredible, and what he was doing with Drew Holiday on him, who I believe is one of the best perimeter defenders in the game, if not the best. It's truly amazing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the Knicks are going to throw at him in the next round, but I'm interested in seeing how that goes. It feels like we've watched these two teams play like 8 times this season, and that's probably because they played a bunch of games in a compacted amount of time. But it's going to be a good, tough series. Both of these teams are physical. Both of these teams are familiar with each other. So I'm interested in seeing how that goes. It's going to be a bloodbath. Warriors defeated the Kings. I think we're starting to see a shift because obviously the Warriors are a bad road team, at least in the regular season. But we knew going into this series that they would have to win a road game in order to win, while the Kings knew they just needed to take care of home court. So that win yesterday, and it being the third game in a row, the third win in a row, I really think they broke the Kings' spirit. There's not much the Kings can do at this point. To be an offensive team, which they were, I believe their defense was ranked 25th or 26th or something like that. It was at the bottom, but their offense is kind of what got them to who they are. In a playoff series, the reason why defense wins championships is in a playoff series, by game four, everybody knows what you're running. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to throw too many adjustments in a playoff series at this point. You'll have some wrinkles, some things you do differently based on how the other team is playing you, but you're not going to change your entire playbook. And everybody knows what you're running. So in a series like this, and when you have a team like the Sacramento Kings, really they only have three playmakers, I would say. That's De'Aaron Fox, you got Malik Monk off the bench, and you got Sabonis. Those three guys are your main guys who can make plays for themselves and others. The other guys kind of feed off of them. So the Warriors have like five guys, and you can say the top, the first guy at least is better than anybody else the Kings have. So you got to count Draymond also. He's a playmaker. He may not be a great scorer, but he is a playmaker. Jordan Poole, Clay Thompson, who's not really a playmaker, I would say. He's more like a Kevin Herter kind of guy, but we've seen him create for himself. But, if I would have put him on the list, he'd be fifth. Wiggins, also a playmaker. So the Warriors just have more playmakers. So now that the Kings know what the Warriors are running and the Warriors know what the Kings are running, it's coming down to mano versus mano, right? Mano y mano. And we're starting to see how much better the Warriors are, right? So I would be astonished. I haven't looked at the lines for game six, but I would be astonished if the line wasn't high. I think the books know the Kings' spirit is pretty much broken at this point. So it could be high, but for the this series, for closing out games, those high spreads have not been working. So it had not been cashing. So I would stay away from a high spread. The more motivated team should be the Sacramento Kings, and maybe they keep it close. Maybe they come out, hot, but I can't see it. I can't see them winning this game. So I'm interested in seeing what the line is and look forward to that. So um, we got one baseball play. I'm not really a baseball guy. I do bet it, but it's more of a system that I have, so I can't really go into too much information on why because I'd be giving you the secret sauce. And one thing I always say is don't give anybody the secret sauce. So for the most part, I like the Tampa Bay Rays today. Very good team coming off of a loss. I just truly believe that they're going to get this one done. I did use the run line calculator and generated a -1 on that. You could take him at the money line, or you could take the -1.5. But I have -1, and hopefully they cover that easily. So I got Tampa Bay Rays today, and for the NBA, I got two plays on the same team. Sorry. We got the Boston Celtics today coming off of that loss in Boston, playing the Atlanta Hawks. DeJounte Murray should be back for this one. He is back, actually. He was only suspended for one game. I did take the Atlanta Hawks first quarter in that game in Boston, and that was mainly because of his absence. That's not to say he's a bad player. I just think when you remove a star out of a lineup, sometimes it creates a bit of unpredictability for another team to gauge how you're going to play them. So, and it works the best early on. Sometimes it carries over through the whole game, but it works the best early on. But it has a negative effect when that player comes back. The Celtics are familiar with how they play together. They had to go back in time to figure out how the Atlanta Hawks were going to play without DeJounte Murray. But their whole entire series plan was based on him being there. So we've seen them dominate them 3-1 with DeJounte Murray in the lineup. So I expect to see more dominance from the Celtics because the game plan with him or against him was working. So I like him early in this one. I took first quarter -2 and first half -3.5. I'm not sure what it's at right now. I took those last night, but I think the closing numbers, whatever the closing numbers are, should be good, should be safe. So that's what I have today. Hopefully we get those and we can come back tomorrow 3-0. So let me know what you guys have in the comments. Subscribe, hit the bell. See you. Have a good day.